War II is known as the greatest war in history. The main cause for World War II is World War I. When World War I ended in 1918, the Treaty of Versailles was signed. The treaty clearly stated that Germany was the country held responsible than any other country that fought in that war. Germany had to pay for it all, but during the 1920s, Germany was in an inflation and in debt where they couldn't pay for it. Today, they haven't paid for it all. Wilson encouraged the U.S. to join the League of Nations, but no one, especially the GOP, aka the Republicans, were in favor of doing so. Today, the United Nations has more members than the League of Nations. Having Germany be liable for everything done in World War I upset a man by the name of Adolf Hitler. He later brainwashed Germany into thinking that it was not Germany's fault, but in fact that it was the Jews. He formed a group called the Nazis, and it later shamed Germany. They set out to rid the Jews and other Eastern European people whom they considered impure, or they sent those to concentration camps. Hitler considered Germans with blonde hair and blue eyes true Germans, and thought that they were better than any other Germans or any other people in the world. Ironically, Hitler had brown hair and brown eyes. He wanted to expand Germany by annexing Eastern European nations. Countries like the US, UK, France, and others were resistant to do so, but we appeased Hitler. When Hitler invaded Poland in 1939, that's when World War II was declared. Germany joined forces with Italy and Japan and called themselves the Axis forces. Like World War I, the United States wanted to remain neutral, but again, it didn't work. On December 7, 1941, the U.S. was awakened by this news flash. We interrupt this program to bring you a news bulletin. This morning, the Japanese attacked the U.S. military base at Pearl Harbor. Many ships were attacked, but the one that got the worst was the USS Arizona. The Arizona was sunk and took her crewmen with her. One of them was a man named Bill Ball, a friend to the 5 Sullivan brothers from Iowa. The U.S. joined along with the allies of England, France, the USSR, and China. In 1942, the 5 Sullivan brothers of Waterloo, Iowa, Albert, Francis, George, Joseph, and Madison Sullivan, joined the Navy together and served aboard the USS Juneau near the Solomon Islands in the Battle of Guadalcanal. That battle would later turn out to be one of the fiercest battles in American history since the U.S. Civil War. On December 13, 1942, the Juneau was torpedoed into the sea by a Japanese submarine, and they all perished. It's a myth that siblings today can't join. They can, under the approval of a captain or commander. The president during World War II was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, aka FDR. He was the only president to serve more than 2 terms. While World War II was going on, and near the end, FDR died of a stroke. Harry S. Truman succeeded FDR and was put under the stress about World War II. A scientist by the name Albert Einstein, a German immigrant, constructed the idea of the first nuclear bomb. The U.S. tested it out in New Mexico. It is famously called the Trinity test. The test was successful. The bomb was known as the atomic bomb. The U.S. dropped the atom bomb into Hiroshima, wiping out the town and population. Many died from radiation sickness. Many scholars claim the end of World War II happened when Japan surrendered. Oh, were the Allies overjoyed! A famous picture of the war ending is the kissing sailor in New York. Hitler killed himself before the war ended, and after the fall of Nazism, no one wanted to name their kids Adolf. After World War II, German and Japanese people were hated for some time. The Cold War rose and lasted from 1945 to 1991. Germany was split into East and West Germany for political reasons and fearing a World War III. World War II could have been prevented if the Treaty of Versailles was fair and all countries that fought in it took responsibility, and not just Germany. If we hadn't appeased Hitler, we could have prevented World War II as well. If we supported the League of Nations, again, World War II would have been prevented. The bravery in these heroes amazes me. This is Hannah Ackerman with History Alive, and have a happy Veterans Day, and thank you, veterans, for your service in protecting this great country.